Let me tell you something about a man. When a man sees you as the most important woman in his life, you don't have to sit there guessing, wondering, overthinking every little text message. A man who truly values you has a way of showing it that speaks louder than anything he could ever say. Because a real man understands something very simple: the woman who means the most to him deserves to feel it. When a man truly sees you as the most important woman in his life, one of the first things you will notice is how he prioritizes you above everything else. Now let me explain something about men. A man's time, energy, and attention are the three most valuable things he has. When he gives those things to you consistently, that is not an accident. That is a choice, because a man will always make time for what truly matters to him. You see, a man can be busy with work, responsibilities, family pressure, and all kinds of things pulling him in different directions. Life can demand a lot from a man, but when you hold a special place in his heart, he doesn't treat you like something he'll get to later. Instead, he makes sure you are part of his daily life. Even on his busiest days, he finds a moment to check on you, to call you, or to send a message just to remind you that you are on his mind. When a woman is truly important to a man, she stops feeling like an option and starts feeling like a priority. That means you are not competing with his time, you are included in it. He plans around you, not away from you. If there is something important happening in your life, he shows up. If you need support, he makes space for you. Because a man who values a woman understands that being present is one of the most powerful ways to show love and respect. Another thing you'll notice is that he doesn't make you beg for his attention. You don't have to chase him for conversations or wonder why he disappears for days without explanation. A man who truly cares about you doesn't leave you confused about where you stand in his life. He communicates, he stays connected, and he makes sure you feel included in his world. And the truth is, prioritizing someone isn't always about grand gestures or dramatic moments. Sometimes it's the small things. It's the way he checks on you during the day, the way he remembers something important you mentioned, or the way he chooses to spend time with you even when he could be doing something else. Because when a man sees you as the most important woman in his life, he doesn't just say you matter. He structures his life in a way that proves it. When a man truly sees you as the most important woman in his life, one of the clearest signs is the way he protects your heart and your peace. Now understand something about men. A man who genuinely values a woman does not enjoy hurting her feelings, confusing her emotions, making her question where she stands. When a woman becomes deeply important to a man, he becomes very aware of the responsibility that comes with her trust. You'll notice that he starts paying attention to the things that affect you emotionally. He listens when you talk about your worries, your fears, and the experiences that have hurt you in the past. And once he knows those things, he becomes careful, not because he's afraid of you, because he respects you. A man who values a woman protects her emotional space the same way he would protect something precious. That means he avoids playing games with your feelings. He doesn't purposely ignore you to make you chase him. He doesn't create jealousy to test your reaction, and he doesn't leave you wondering whether he cares about you or not. Instead, he tries to bring calmness and security into your life. Because when a man truly cares, the last thing he wants to do is become the reason for your stress or sadness. Another way a man protects your peace is by the way he handles conflicts. Every relationship will have disagreements. That's normal. But a man who truly values you doesn't turn every disagreement into a battle. He doesn't try to win by hurting you with harsh words or by bringing up things just to wound you emotionally. Instead, he tries to solve the problem without damaging the connection between you. You will also see it in the way he stands up for you when necessary. If someone disrespects you or treats you unfairly, he doesn't stay silent. A man who sees you as the most important woman in his life naturally feels the need to defend your dignity and your place beside him. And when a man protects your heart and your peace, it creates something powerful in a relationship. It creates emotional safety. It allows you to relax, to be yourself, and to trust that the man beside you values your happiness just as much as his own. When a man truly sees you as the most important woman in his life, something very interesting begins to happen in the way he talks about the future. You start hearing yourself in it, not as a temporary guest, not as someone who might be around for a little while, as someone who naturally belongs in the life he is building. A man who values a woman deeply doesn't picture his future alone anymore, because in his mind the road ahead includes her. You'll notice it in small conversations at first. Maybe he talks about a trip he wants to take someday, and without hesitation he says something like, "We should go there together." Or he talks about where he wants to live, what kind of life he wants to build, and somehow you are already part of that picture. It's not forced or dramatic. It just comes naturally because when a man sees a woman as important, she becomes part of the vision he has for his life. Men are very careful about who they allow into their long-term plans. A man may spend time with many people in his life, but the woman he imagines beside him in the future is different. That's the woman he believes he can trust, grow with, and build something meaningful with. So when he starts including you in those conversations about tomorrow, it's not just talk. It's a quiet sign that he sees you as someone who belongs in his long-term world. You'll also notice that he begins asking for your thoughts and opinions when he makes important decisions. A man who is only thinking about himself rarely asks anyone for input. But when you matter to him, your perspective starts to carry weight. Whether he is thinking about a career move, a big purchase, or a major life change, he wants to know what you think. That's because he understands that decisions he makes today will affect the life you may share tomorrow. Another sign is the way he introduces you to the important people in his life. When a man sees a future with a woman, he wants the people who matter to him to know her. He wants his family and close friends to see the person who holds a special place in his heart. It's his way of bringing you deeper into his world and showing that your presence there is not temporary. And the more serious his feelings become, more natural it feels for him to talk about building something lasting. He may speak about goals, stability, a home, or a life filled with shared experiences. These conversations aren't just dreams floating in the air. They are signals that in his mind, you are no longer just part of his present. You are part of the future he hopes to create. When a man sees you as the most important woman in his life, the way he listens to you becomes very different. Many people hear words, but true listening is something deeper. A man who values you doesn't just wait for his turn to speak while you're talking. He actually pays attention to what you are saying, how you feel, and why those things matter to you. Your words carry weight with him because you carry weight in his heart. You will notice that when you speak, he doesn't brush your thoughts aside or treat your feelings like they are unimportant. Instead, he gives you his attention. He looks at you, responds thoughtfully, and tries to understand your perspective, even if he doesn't always see things the same way. That kind of listening shows respect, and respect is one of the strongest signs that a man truly values a woman. Another thing you'll notice is that he remembers the things you tell him. Maybe you mentioned a problem at work, something that made you nervous, or a small dream you've always had. Later on, he brings it up again or checks on how things turned out. That shows he wasn't just hearing you in the moment. He was truly taking your words in. A man who values you also cares about how his actions affect you. If something he did upset you, he doesn't dismiss it or laugh it off. Instead, he listens to why it hurt and tries to understand your emotions. That willingness to listen and adjust shows that your voice matters in the relationship and that your feelings are something he takes seriously. When a man sees you as the most important woman in his life, he doesn't feel the need to hide you or keep you in the background. Instead, he shows you off with pride. Now understand something about men. A man who truly values a woman feels proud to have her beside him. Presence in his life becomes something he appreciates, not something he keeps secret. You will notice this in the way he introduces you to the people around him. When he talks about you to his friends or family, there is respect in his voice. He doesn't treat you casually or make you seem like someone who just happened to be around. He speaks about you with appreciation, and he makes it clear that you hold a special place in his life. Another thing you may notice is how comfortable he is being seen with you in public. Whether it's spending time together at events, gatherings, even simple outings, he enjoys having you by his side. He doesn't act distant or pretend that the relationship is less important than it actually is. Instead, he stands confidently with you because he values what you represent in his life. A man who is proud of the woman he loves will also compliment her openly. He may talk about your qualities, your strength, your kindness, or the way you support him. These compliments aren't just meant to flatter you, they reflect the genuine admiration he feels. When a man shows you off with pride, it's his way of telling the world that the woman beside him matters, and that having you in his life is something he deeply values. When a man sees you as the most important woman in his life, real proof often appears during the difficult moments. Anybody can be loving and present when everything is going well. When life is easy, when there are no problems, when the relationship is filled with laughter and excitement, it is simple for someone to stay. The true measure of a man's commitment shows up when challenges begin to appear. Life has a way of testing every relationship. There will be stressful days, misunderstandings, financial pressure, emotional struggles, and moments when things feel heavy. During those times, a man who truly values you does not disappear or distance himself. Instead, he stays. He stands beside you and faces those challenges with you rather than leaving you to handle them alone. You will notice that when you are going through a hard time, he doesn't treat your struggles like they are a burden. He listens when you need to talk. He offers comfort when you feel overwhelmed, and he does what he can to support you emotionally. Sometimes that support comes through words, and sometimes it simply comes through his presence. Just knowing he is there can make a difficult moment feel a little easier. A man who sees you as the most important woman in his life also shows patience when the relationship faces tension. Every couple experiences disagreements. No relationship is perfect, but a man who truly values the woman beside him doesn't run away when things get uncomfortable. Instead of shutting down or walking away, he tries to work through the issues because the relationship matters too much to him to give up easily. You may also notice that he defends the relationship when others doubt it or criticize it. When a man believes in the woman he loves, he doesn't allow outside opinions to shake his loyalty. He stands firm in his commitment because he understands that what you share together is worth protecting. Another powerful sign is the way he continues to invest effort even after difficult moments pass. He doesn't simply survive the challenge and move on without care. Instead, he works to rebuild connection, strengthen trust, and make sure the relationship becomes stronger rather than weaker. Standing by someone during hard times requires emotional strength and genuine care. When a man chooses to remain present, supportive, and committed during life's storms, it shows that his connection to you goes deeper than temporary feelings. It shows that your place in his life is not conditional on everything being perfect, but rooted in something much stronger and more lasting.